It's afternoon already. How are you? What is up, everybody? It's Gwen, and I'm so inspired on this Monday morning to come here and chat with you and talk about something that has really become like apparent to me in the past just couple of weeks even. Like it's been in the back of my mind, but like it's really just starting to show up, and that is how to stop comparing and start creating, which leads to living like this life of total happiness. So if you're here, say good morning. Hopefully I can see anybody who hops on. Let me know how you're doing and where you're tuning in from. Comparing. So I wonder, have you ever just like gone through your day and at each action, at everything that you do, stopped and been like, why do I do that? Like I was thinking today in my Jeep. I wanted a Jeep forever and ever and ever and ever. It literally was the first car that I asked for when I got my license. And my mom said no, because it was too dangerous, right? And I think Jeeps have come a long way since I first started driving, however many years ago that was. But my mom said no. And I was pretty disappointed. So, my dad helped me buy my first car, and I did love that car. It was like this cute little 1987 Toyota Supra. It was silver. It was not turbo. That is the question everybody asked me. I didn't even know what turbo was at 16 years old. It didn't really matter. But that car was awesome. It had a hatchback. It also had an oil leak. I also had to put bags of sand in the back of that car just to make it up my driveway in the winter because we had like this really long rock driveway, right? And I didn't care what that car looked like. I didn't care because I was newly licensed. I just had something to drive. My friends could come with me. I could go places. I could do things, right? Like, did not care what that car looked like. Fast forward to now, right? I decided, you know what? It's time for me to sell the minivan because I had 2 kids and I was driving a minivan, which was awesome, by the way. Minivan rocked it. Like the doors open by themselves. You could push the button in the back open. I could change kids in the back. The seats folded into the floor, friends. Mind blowing. But at some point I was like, now it's time for me to get my Jeep. I want my Jeep. I wanted my Jeep forever. It's time for me to get my Jeep. I looked at tons of Jeeps and I finally pulled the trigger. And I love my car. I love my car. But I was listening to Gary Vee do a talk about people buy stupid things. And he said, people go out and buy a BMW. Why do they buy a BMW? And the guy in the audience was like, oh, I have a BMW. Gary Vee's like, yeah. And why did you buy it? Did you buy it because you love that car? And that was this guy's answer. He bought the BMW because he loves BMWs. He's like, think about it. Did you buy it because you love this car? Or did you buy it because you love how this car makes you look to other people? And I was like, why did I buy my Jeep? Did I buy the Jeep because I've always wanted one and I think they look cool and I love it? Or did I buy my Jeep because of the way that I think it makes me look to other people? And I like really had to sit with that for a moment and think about it, right? Especially in where I'm at right now, we're trying to pay down a ton of debt. And, you look at all these options, like, can I sell this? And can I get this instead? And can I have a cheaper payment? And can I, because I certainly, Jeeps are not inexpensive. So it was like a newer Jeep when I bought it, and it's a good amount of money. More than it was similar to the minivan. It was very similar to the minivan in cost, but it prompted me to start thinking about the other actions that I take in my life, and like really, if you haven't gone through your day and been like, why did I get this iPhone? It was $1,000, and now I'm making monthly payments on it. And did I get the iPhone because of how it makes me look to everybody else, or did I get the iPhone because I really like the iPhone? And then you start evaluating like all these other things in your life. And the reason why we do that is because we're comparing ourselves to other people. And we're doing things out of the action, or I guess we're doing things out of the thought, like, how does this make me look to other people? And that is mind-blowing. Because on the other side of that, the reason why people don't go for things in their life, tell me if this is you, the reason why we don't take action for things is because we fear what we'll look like to somebody else. We fear what other people will say about us. We fear what other people will think about us. We fear rejection. We fear looking different and not belonging. Am I right? Like, how many times have you stopped yourself from doing something because you fear how you're going to look to other people? I did it my whole life. Like, my whole life. Like, I'm trying to think of all the examples. There's so many examples. I mean, can you think of something that you haven't done because you are afraid, or you're afraid of what you're going to look like to somebody else? And maybe it's driving the jalopy car that barely goes down the road but was free because you're afraid of what other people will think of you, right? But you just saved a whole ton of money. Or maybe it's that you didn't start a business because you're like, oh my God, this is different and people will look at me differently, and they're going to think X about me. They're going to think this, like fill in the blank, right? They're going to think I'm whatever. How many times have you stopped yourself from doing that? And so here's what I realized in that. And again, I don't know if that hits home with you. I don't know what your specific situation is, but when I ask people like, what stops you from taking action, it's usually like fear of being rejected, fear of looking different, fear of somebody saying something, fear of somebody thinking something about you. So we're automatically comparing ourselves to the rest of the world and the people out there because we're very aware of how the world looks at us. And we're so in tune with that we think that should drive us in what we do or what we don't do. Am I right? Like, am I right? Have you ever let that stop you before? So if that's you, maybe you can see how this will help you. It's so easy to say stop comparing and start creating. But what I mean when I say that is you almost have to put these blinders on. You put the goggles on so that you can't see anybody else. You don't care about what other people think about you, because at the end of the day, does that pay your bills, right? Does what someone else says of you pay your bills? Probably not. But what you do in your actions and how you show up, does that pay your bills? Probably. And we're so stuck on this social media world of like comparison, right? So here's some practical ways that I've learned to stop comparing myself to others. And I am not perfect. This comes up every single day, and I have to ask myself, Gwen, why are you doing this action? Are you doing it because you truly, this is your thought and your thought only, and you're not influenced by anything else around you? Or are you doing it because of how it's going to make you look, right? So here's how you can stop comparing yourself to others. And the first thing is just to practice gratitude. It seems so simple, but going to bed at night and writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. Or when you're about to take action on something, sitting in the moment and being like, okay, what am I grateful for in my life? Practicing gratitude is a practice. It is not perfect every time. There's actually no rules or regulations to how you practice gratitude, but just being grateful for what you have in that moment. Being grateful for the bed that you sleep on, being grateful for the food that you eat, the time that you get with your family. Like, just practice stopping in your tracks for 5 minutes and just having thoughts about what you're grateful for, and do it every single day. Okay, that's one way to stop comparing yourself to other people, because it allows you to go inward and really realize like what you have. Another way is stop comparing yourself to everyone else's highlight reel, right? The social media feed is everyone's highlight reel. They're not going to take a picture and show you like your 2 children locked in the bathroom crying while you're out here eating a piece of chocolate. And some people do. But like, is that the real? Or is it a picture to get attention? You know what I mean? Like, you can start to go deep on that real thing. So stop comparing your life to someone else's highlights. Super important. They're only showing you like what's pretty good or what's semi-good or what's really, really good. Most people are not showing you the SHIT show that's actually happening right now in their life, right? They're not showing you those parts. Be that person. Show people those parts, because the more real that you can be, the more you'll connect with other people, the more that you will connect with yourself. Okay. Another way is to focus on your strengths. This kind of goes along with like being grateful, right? Having gratitude, practicing having gratitude. Because the more that you can do that, the more that you can understand where your strengths lie. What are you good at? What can you help people with? Right? Like, what things do you have of superpower? What are your superpowers? I know what my superpowers are. It is helping women realize that they can dream, and then helping them take the steps to achieve those dreams. I know that because I love that work, and I do it not based on what other people think of me. or how I think it's going to make myself look to somebody else. I do it because number one, it was my experience. I had to go there first. And number two, I just truly, truly love what that does for people. So focus on your strengths. Write them down if you have to. Another way to celebrate other people, really pay attention to what other people are doing. Your friends, your inner circle, the people that you call your friends, really pay attention to what they're doing and celebrate them. Be their cheerleader. Show up for them. Like, those are your people. And if you look at your inner circle and you feel like you don't want to celebrate them, or you can't celebrate them because it feels bad, they're not your people. And it's time to reevaluate that inner circle. As much as that hurts, you have to do that, because the people that are surrounding you should be people that lift you up. They should be people that make you happy. They should be people that push you to be better and stronger and happier and healthier, right? And you should also reciprocate and do the same. Cheer other people on. Even people that are not your friends, even people that you see out there doing amazing things. I'm part of this debt-free community on Facebook, and this woman called me. No, she didn't call me. Sorry. I just got a phone call and that made me think about calling. This woman made a post in that group, and I didn't even know her. I was like, listen, I don't even know you, but I'm super proud of you. I just want you to know that I'm proud of what you're doing. And then we had this great conversation about what she's doing. And then I realized that she's got this nonprofit going on because of what she went through in her life. And now she's bringing it forward and helping young women realize, their dreams and goals. Like, she's doing something similar to what I'm doing. But I had to just reach out to her and say, hey, I'm just like, round of applause for you. What you're doing is amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up in your true, honest self, right? And sometimes all it takes is just telling somebody that. And that's like, it is like the icing on the cake, right? Here's my last little tip. Learn to compare yourself to yourself, because the only person that you can or should be comparing yourself to is you yesterday. Okay. Your goal every day is just to be a little bit better than you were the day before. And it's by doing all those things that we just talked about, right? Practicing gratitude, looking for your strengths, cheering other people on, really truly deciding what you want out of your life. If you start competing with the other people around you, you will constantly be in competition and never feel like you're good enough. And my goal for you is to know that what you have right now inside is exactly what you need. And you are made with a purpose. Like, you were born with that. You are good enough for what you need to go out and do. So if you're at all worried about what other people are thinking about you, stop. Easier said than done. Practice gratitude. Have faith in yourself and what you're doing. Stop competing with other people. Stop comparing yourself to people's highlights that they're showing you. That is only part of their world. All you can know and all you can do is fully what embodies you, what you truly love, not based on what you think other people are thinking of you. We have to remove that, because until you do, you can't fully show up and step into your purpose. But once you start practicing those things we just talked about, you will show up in your purpose. And I'm telling you, life takes off from here. Life takes off. You stop comparing yourself and you start creating. You become creative. You have more ideas and more thoughts and more things that you make life better with for yourself, not for anybody else. So I don't know if that hits for you. I don't know if you can feel any of that. I don't know, what your situation looks like, but I know that when I spent my life comparing myself to others, and when I spent my life worried about what other people were thinking about me, it didn't allow me to be my best self. And it has taken time, and it's a slow crawl, but I'm learning how to show up authentically. And I think that's been super helpful for my self-esteem. And I want that for you, because the only thing that's holding most people back is that lack of self-esteem. So if you can bust through these ceilings and these walls and create your own version of life, it'll be the best thing for you. So I hope that's super helpful. It is Monday, Motivation Monday. What are you going to take action on today? How are you going to start? What are you grateful for? Let me know in the comments what you're grateful for. And I hope you have a fantastic Monday. All right, you guys, I'll see you later.